Hey guys, so this is our week 23 and 24 pregnancy update. So I didn't intend on merging them, but time kind of got away from me. So I am up 13 pounds total from the beginning of the pregnancy. For week 23, I think it was 12 and a half pounds, and then I put on another half pound this week. Things have been going really well. Still indigestion in the evenings, still Braxton hicks contractions, particularly in the evenings. As far as cravings, I want like protein, mostly meat, or sweets. That's kind of the only thing that I'm craving. Aside from that, I'm pretty go with the flow, honestly. There's nothing that really is like unappetizing to me. This week, week 24, I have really become more exhausted. I feel like the tiredness that I experienced in the first trimester has like returned. And I mean, you're building a human, so you're bound to just be more tired. And I just feel like I'm always instinctively just trying to be ahead of everything. And there's so much to do. There's just so much to do. And I have a toddler and I have a full-time job. And I have a husband, and I just feel like all of those things can be very overwhelming and demanding, and sometimes I just don't ask for help and I just kind of power through, and then I crash because I'm just so tired and I haven't even realized that like I didn't stop running. So I'm trying to give myself a little more rest. Not a ton, but just like a little bit, just a little relaxation. I went and got my hair done. It is like a grayish, purplish. I don't know. I like it. But anyways, I'm just trying to do a few little things for myself to just chill out, if that makes any sense or if that's possible. So I'm trying to do that for myself. I know that that's important and we need to all do it, but when you have other obligations that you have to attend to, you know, it's not like you can just like, I need rest. Everything's just gonna have to pause. So it's a shame. That would be really nice. It's so funny. I would always think of those TV shows where like the main character would like pause and then like have a discussion with the audience and then pause back. And I would just be like, oh, I would take naps during that time. I would take naps. I mean, I would probably also put on makeup, you know, because then I would always look put together, you know, because you could just pause time and fix everything. That's what goes on in my mind. I feel like I've had some weird dreams also lately. I can't recall any of them offhand. And they weren't like wild and crazy, they were just odd, and like I feel like I woke up and was like, huh? Like they were just weird. So I don't know. I'm sure that's a part of it. So lots of movement. We can do a little belly shot here. So lots of movement, and she's very low, which, truth be told, I know it sounds like I keep saying she's low, but I think that they all are until like the beginning of the third trimester, and then they kind of scoot up a little bit further. Or at least I feel like it was that way with my first pregnancy. I feel like Liz was the same way. I feel like she was low for a while, then she moved up, and then she went back down for like the last week or two. So I don't know if that's typical, but it's funny because she'll move and I will instinctively want, like, I'll be with my mom or something and be like, oh, you want to feel? But then it's like, maybe she doesn't want to put her hand on like my lower abdomen because that's where the baby is right now. Anyways, at the end of this week, week 24, I have another ultrasound to check her heart because I'm on Prozac. And then I also have just a 24-week checkup. So I need to, they should be fun appointments. It's a shame. I hate having ultrasounds during a pandemic because my husband can't come, so it's just me. So, I mean, it's still nice, obviously. I'm not saying I don't want the ultrasound. It just is something that you typically take your partner to, and can't do that right now. So, weird. Occasionally I get a bit of nausea later in the day, and sometimes I'll forget. I try to take the prenatal in the morning with my breakfast because I always have a big breakfast. That's just how I am. But sometimes I'll forget and I'll want to do it later in the day, and the nausea returns later in the day, and I have trouble taking the prenatal because it's such a beastly pill, you know? So that's been a pain. So there have been a couple of days randomly, like 1 or 2 each week, where I've just had trouble getting it down because it's just so massive. And if I forget in the morning, which I'm usually not nauseous at that time, and I eat a decent sized meal, I try to take it later and it just doesn't work out. Tons of walking due to chasing a toddler, and also nice weather. It's been cooling down a little bit in the mornings and evenings, which is lovely because the, you know, walking weather to me that I find kind of ideal is more common now and for longer periods of time because we have a cooler morning and a cooler evening. So I am happy about that. I have had a couple of like occur to me, like, I have to give birth, and I'll just become like really scared because it's a scary thing. Like, I know I'm in a civilized society, I'm in a place where there's good hospitals and doctors and all that, and everything looks fine, but it's still scary. Like, there are still people that have a lot of trouble. My first birthing experience was not great and not easy as far as the actual experience, and the recovery was really tough. And so every once in a while, it just kind of pops like, you're gonna have to give birth again, and I'm just like, oh my god, that was not easy. Like, oh, it was not easy, it was not fun. It's a little scary. Nervous. I wish I wasn't nervous, but I am. Like, how big do you want your family to be? I think it's an interesting discussion. And I know that everyone ponders it at some point or another in their lives, or after you've had 1 kid, 2 kids, no kids, you know. But anyways, so next week I'll be able to fill you in on the ultrasound for the heart and that week 24 appointment. And that is pretty much it. So thank you guys so much. I hope you're doing well. Stay safe. Thank you. Thank you.